Previously on Busted Junk Studio. It's a nice carb. Uh-oh.
Heath kit, night kit, Ico kits, and Dyna kits. And Norm took that amplifier out on tour.
It's L37. Here we are. You can see the skinny element is an octal tube. EL30. All right, here we are. Untouched. Right around here. It's probably right about here. Right about here. Yeah. And take it from there. Let's press ahead. Two-stage preamp output circuit. Phase inverter. Tone stack. 280, 260, 42, 47. 46. 134 nanofarad. 141 nanofarad. About 50. 89.764 nano. 0.9. Cause cancer. There's cord. Isn't that a beauty? And wait. Round. Hey, we're both in.
75, 100, 450, 60, 70, 80, 110 volt, 540, right around 100 beats, see?
So, yeah, we won't. Line cord, and he's got a nasty. There's the white, the black. Can't match. There we go. 25 thousandths. Death capacitor is currently. Giving it a snip there, right here. There we go. There we go. Snip it off there, and we'll snip it off there. Let me get this getting there. There we go. Now, let's see now. In case he wants. Let's continue on with these caps. Let's get this guy. All right. And we want this guy. And we want this guy. Let's see if we can get that out of there. There we are. Now. This end from here. I don't know, for some reason, I'm skipping all over the place there. There we go. Okay. Those are both out. Put in some new ones. With the stripes. There we go. And what we're going to want to do. Still got an obstruction here. That's better. May look a little messy, but we'll get it straightened out. So we're going to want this. There. Take a little solder. Let's solder up that joint. Yeah, that's good. Let's see, we got enough there. Solder this one. We're good. And this one here, we're just about in position. Solder this up. Okay, those are in. It's all over for the trimming and the straightening. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay. Let's get rid of a little excess. Kind of almost like artistic placement. That's it. That's the tone stack of the amp. Not much to it, really. Well, there's this capacitor, too. This one's good. So we got those replaced in the right polarity, and so now the preamplifier. Let's remove this coupling capacitor here first. Let's see how we go. Goes on right there. So. All right. Now, we'll take this in. We got to kind of pre-fit it. So we cut her off right about here. And we give it a little tack in place. Right. Let's get myself oriented. Yeah, that's good. Alright, we got a good solid solder joint there. And we solder in. And that's it. That puts in our coupling cap. And now we're down to probably the most important capacitor in the entire system. And that's this one. This is the Pre-Amplifier's cathode bypass capacitor. And the cathode resistor too. We're going to replace both of those. Keep them in a unit. That. And that's out of there. And we're going to replace it with this. And that will go in here, but what we want to do here is clean this terminal out. There we go. Clean terminal. We'll just slip the lead through for right now. And now we got a little bit of soldering to do. First thing we'll do is attack it right here. On the thing. So that guy's in place. And that's it. That's basically recapping the entire system. Okay, so this brings us around to the output section here. Now we gotta start taking some of these parts out. Let's take this out of here. There's that. There's that. And what we have down here is we have that little burnt weenie resistor. It's part of the feedback circuit from the secondary side of the output transformer. Really shouldn't be any DC voltage there, but this thing's burnt up nevertheless, which, I don't know, might have been caused by the thing being biased too hot. I'm not quite sure. At any rate, it shouldn't do that. So we can get our feedback going again. Yeah. This is just kind of temporary. We'll get around to it. We'll put the orange wire there. And we'll put the black wire right in here, along with the ground. So here we have 4 ohms, 8 ohms, ground, and 16 ohms. And that's our feedback line. We'll put another resistor in there. So that's pretty straightforward. Easy take. Now we can pull. We'll replace these with new jacks. We don't need them in here. That's it. So this guy will come back here, and we'll get a new resistor for in here, and then we'll wire from here over to the
impedance switch, which is hiding out somewhere. I don't know where. I put it somewhere and I can't find it. Let me see. Where did I put that thing?
We'll take this impedance switch, and we're going to mount that probably right about like that in here. Well, now we're going to get to the point where amp purists are going to kind of cry, but I'm going to drill some holes in this thing. We have to do it for the job. Up to this point, everything we've done is reversible, but, you know, now it looks like we're going to have to modify it for real. So let's get to it, you know. So that's 1 inch, inch and a half, 1 inch. It gives us our locations for our drilled holes. There, there, and there. Now, of course, I don't have a center punch because I don't have the right tools usually. But we'll make do with what we got. We'll use a screw. And that's what we'll use. We'll use a screw as a center punch. There we go. Let's hold it right at the spot. Like that. So, next thing is, let's put a small drill hole in. I don't know if this drill's good enough. This might not be a good drill to use. These aren't necessarily the best drills. They were cheap though, so that's a plus. And there's our 3 holes, and yeah, they're pretty good. Now for the scary part. Bigger drill. Let's see how this works. There's 3 holes. Now we got to clean them up. And let's fix these up. Ah, yeah, those feel good. Now, get down to these parts. We're down to the last parts. This thing here is going to need a little bit of special handling because it has an anti-rotation tab on it. And we need to put an anti-rotation hole in here because it takes a little force to move this thing. And you don't want it spinning around on you. You know, so we gotta take care of that detail. Scratch a line in the chassis so that we can see where to drill this hole. And I can just barely see where that's at. As a matter of fact, let me try another thing. I'm going to go back for our makeshift center punch. All right, let's get a drill. I don't have a good enough dent in there. A little more oomph. I think I got the crummy drill. Not a big enough diameter. And that fits in. Okay, that's great. And this whole thing goes in through here. Get that little spud to stick through there. And we tighten her down with the nut. There's one other little thing we got to do to this. We're going to put a knob on here, but it's going to need a flat here for the set screw to sit down on. So once again, just to make sure that things don't rotate. Right. Okay. Want to make sure you get all the alignment correct. You know, you don't want to mess up with that. Oh yeah. Perfect. All right, so it works good. Let's take this out of here. Put that aside. Let's get these put in. Oh, yeah. One thing we need to do, this label no longer really applies. So let's pull this off of here. There we go. What I did was I realized, yeah, we need a label for these inputs and outputs. So I went into AutoCAD and then Illustrator and then Photoshop and I ginned this thing up right here. And it looks pretty good. So all I have to do is take it over to the local print shop and have them print it up and I can stick it on there. But the problem being is, thanks to COVID-19, the print shop's closed. So maybe in a month or two, who knows, I'll be able to get the thing printed up. In the meantime, we're going to put it together without a label, but we're going to have that label on here. So let's get right down to it. Now, there we go, that's good. These are going to be our new speaker jacks. Just standard Switchcraft 11s. Now these two, this is line in, line out. So line in has got to be a switched type of jack like this. Okay, it's got a little switch in it. It's got 3 leads. Yeah, that's what that one's got to be. Let's put that in. Yeah, we're recording. I just had to check to see if the sound was on. So that one goes in here. And this one goes in the other hole. Now later when I get that label, we can just take these nuts off, put the label on, and put the nuts back down on top of it. For right now, we need to get it wired up, so there's our jacks. All right, so we got to get this thing wired up now, and we're going to start with a bare wire. We're going to do the ground here. Let me get this through here. Sorry if you can't see exactly my hand. My hand's going to be temporarily in the way and out of the way here during the whole thing. It's just... Now this would be the ground connections for the output jacks is what we're soldering up. Technically speaking, these terminals and this term are already grounded to the chassis, and I'm just putting in a wire to kind of double up on that grounding. Now you're saying to yourself, well, what are you doing? You putting in ground loops? Well, yeah. But that's not unprecedented in this amp. There's ground loops all over this chassis. Anywhere where you've got these black wires running, that's ground. And the chassis is ground. That would be a ground loop, going from a ground point to a ground point, with a ground point to a ground point, underneath a ground point, blah, 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 blah. And we're just going to work on the ground at the moment, which would be the black wire out of the output transformer. You got the brown wire, that's 4 ohm tap. Got the orange wire, that's an 8 ohm tap, and you got the yellow wire, that's the 16 ohm tap. This terminal strip wasn't used for this, but it's got just the right amount of terminals to do this. Maybe they were intending on using this terminal strip to terminate the outputs before or not, I don't know. But they never did it. Unfortunately, I don't have any brown wire. Getting this all color-coded properly, we're going to have a few little compromises here, like with this one. This is a white-brown wire. It's got some brown in it. And with 8 ohms, I have some orange wire, so that's good. So we're matching our colors. Our yellow wire we got that 1K resistor, a 1 watt, 1 kilo ohm resistor. And then here's our feedback wire. All right, let's check all our connections. So these are the wires that are going to go to our rotor switch, but our rotor switch is going to need another wire. A red wire. And we're going to hook the switch to the output jacks. And this is going to hook the rotor switch to the output jacks. Very nice. This would be the 4 ohm position, 8 ohm position, 16 ohm position. So our 4 ohms, the brown wire. Now we'll do the 8 ohm. There we are. That's that one. And now we're down to the final 16 ohm wire. There we are. So now we got our rotor switch hooked in. We got our output jacks hooked up. We got our ground reinforced. We got our feedback resistor in place. The only thing we got is the line in and the line out, but we're not going to do those right this second. We're going to see, yeah, there we go. When I first started making this video a month ago, it was a different world. Since then, we've seen the world hit with a pandemic, and it's kind of changed the way we do things right at the moment. Everyone should follow the health guidelines, stay isolated. What do they say? Shelter in place. In California here, it seems to be having an effect. I hope it does in the rest of the world. And that's about enough of that grim subject. Stay well. We got the entire amplifier recapped and rewired. We got the custom outputs all set in. And now we're going to put it all together, get the tubes in it, get it hooked up to the generators, get it hooked up to the scope, and we're going to fire the amp up, set the bias, do these things. And the last thing we're going to do is we're going to do that line in, line out modification. I really wanted this episode to be the last episode in this series, but there's just a lot to this stuff, and I'm not pulling any punches. I'm showing you every little detail of what's going on. There's no take twos, and every little detail of what's being done is being presented to you. So I hope you come back for the next episode. It's going to be a big one. You're going to hear the amp and everything, so until then, you stay safe.